What we're going to do today is we're going to explore the subject of why you can understand English but sometimes have trouble speaking it, okay? The first thing we'll look at here is why you can't speak English even if you understand it. The real problem is usually to do with fear, afraid of making a mistake, yeah? The second one is a translation habit. And the third one, the third problem is that we haven't developed a speaking system to be able to speak coherently and fluently. Now, let's just talk about that for a moment. Looking at problem number one, fear. Most students think that their problem is grammar or vocabulary, but it's not. Actually, the three real problems are fear, the translation habit, and no speaking system. Yeah. So with fear, afraid to make a mistake, so you don't speak, so you stop speaking. And what we have to realize is that fluency is not about being grammatically correct, all right? It's not about being grammatically correct. I teach IELTS to a lot of students and have done for 20 years. And one of the band scores deals with fluency. And it's got nothing to do with grammar. It's got to do with whether you can speak continuously for 30 or 60 or seconds or a minute or 2 minutes, yeah? The second one is the translation habit. You think in Thai or you think in Myanmar, Burmese, then you translate it into English and then you speak. And the problem with that is that it makes you very, very slow, yeah, so that you're not fluent because you are translating from your language number one into English, okay? And the third problem is no speaking system. You've learned grammar, but not communication. You've learned grammar. You've been taught grammar, but you haven't been taught how to speak. You don't need more English. You just need a better speaking system. That's the key, okay? Now, what we're going to do here now is look at some strategies that you can use for everyday speaking in English, yeah? The first one is we're looking at structures that we can use all the time. The first one is to give, if you're asked something, give two reasons plus an example. It's called the two reasons plus example structure, all right? So, for example, I think and I prefer, right? And you might, if you want to make some notes of this or take a screenshot, feel free, because these expressions will help you. And then you go first, second, and for example, yeah? First, second, and for example. So look at this structure. Say, for example, I asked the question, do you prefer city or country life? Do you prefer to live in the city or do you prefer to live in a village? Yeah, okay. So we can use first, second, for example, and that will give you fluency. So the first one, read that for us, Pius, in there.
I prefer city life for two main reasons.
Yep.
First, there are more job opportunities.
Yep.
Second, public transportation is convenient.
Yep.
For example, in my city, I can travel without a car.
Yeah. Do you see that? So there's three things. I think, I prefer, first, second, for example. And you can do it quickly. And then you know, it's a bit like you said to me before, say someone asked me in Thai, in Kalmay, mean, have you eaten? And I immediately, I don't translate it. I immediately go like, gin lao, yeah, gin gung. You see? And what we're doing here is we're using a structure that you can use every day to talk and to be fluent, okay? Now look at the practice prompts there. We've already done city or village. Now I want you to think about online learning or classroom, yeah? What do you prefer? Learning online or learning face-to-face? We're in E.
I prefer learning in the classroom for two main reasons.
Good.
First is face-to-face with the teacher, so I can ask the question, Second, it's good for working in group with friends. For example, I think learning in the classroom is better for me.
Okay, really, that's very good. You see that? Now you suddenly there were a few little grammar mistakes in there, but I don't care about them. I'm just interested in knowing, did I understand you? Yeah, I understood everything that you said. Okay, Saratya, do you prefer coffee or tea?
I prefer tea for two main reasons.
Good,
First,
girl. Yes.
I like the smell. Okay, the smell of the tea is very aromatic. And second is that I like the taste of the tea. So, for example, I prefer to have matcha latte in the morning.
Okay, good. All right, that's fine. You see there, it says why it works, right? It removes thinking stress. You don't have to think. You just say it, yeah? It gives you a clear speaking path. And it sounds fluent immediately. Look at number 2 there. The 4-step fluency builder structure. First, then, after that, and finally. Now, these are what we call linkers, yeah? So these are things where there's sequences. First, then, after that, finally. Right? Look at the example here. Your weekend. First, I woke up early. Then I had breakfast. After that, I went to work. Finally, I relaxed at home. First, then, after that, finally. Okay? All right, Pew. Tell me about your weekend.
First, I will get early in the morning. Then I ran. After that, I work for shopping. After that, I cook for lunch.
Okay, that's fluent. Few little grammar mistakes there. You need to use the past tense, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. It's not what we're testing. I'm not interested in your grammar, all right? I'm only interested in your fluency today. Yeah, we can fix the grammar up later. That's all right. It's no problem. Okay, good. Okay, Wirani, tell me about your morning routine.
Yes. First, I woke up early. Then I painted picture with watercolor. After that, I did some housework. Finally, I get ready to work.
Fantastic, Wirani. See, it's boom, 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 boom. It's fluent. It's not, often I have students that are translating from Thai into English or from Burmese into English. And then there's all these big gaps and they'll fill it with things like and and how can I say, and all of those very typical expressions that people use to fill the gaps. But if you've got this first, then after that, finally, you don't have a problem with that. You can do it easily. Okay. Why does that work? Well, it trains you to speak for continuous speaking. Do you see that, Pew? It trains you for continuous speaking. First, then after that, finally. If you remember those, it will lead you into a fluent description of what you are doing. Yeah. Okay. And you can apply this to anything. All right. It eliminates pauses. It stops you going, let me see, or a blank silence. It eliminates it because you're going to say first and then and after that and finally. And it's very good for beginners as well and intermediate students. You guys are a bit at a higher level than that, but it's very good for anyone. But it is very good for beginners and intermediate students. All right. Number 3 there, we've got the past, present, future structure, right? In the past, now, and in the future. For example, in the past, I didn't speak English much. Now, I practice every day. In the future, I want to speak confidently, okay? In the past, I didn't say. So the past, we're using the past tense. I didn't. Now we're using verb 1, yeah? And then in the future, I want to speak confidently, all right? Let's just practice that for a minute. Talk about your lifestyle.
In the past, I didn't exercise much, but right now I'm also the same. Yeah, I'm doing the same. And in the future, I just wanna work out more so I can be healthy.
Very good, Char. That's fine. See, I had no trouble understanding you because what you're doing is you are using linkers in the past, now. So you said in the past I never used to exercise much. Actually, now I don't exercise much either. And in the future, I would like to exercise so I can be healthy. Why does it work? Well, it's easy to organize your ideas. And it also encourages longer answers as well. Yeah. All right. Look at number 4. Opinion and compare structure. An opinion and compare structure. The structure is I think, because, compared to, and so. I think, because, compared to, and so. Look at the example there. I think online learning is better because it's flexible. Compared to classroom learning, it saves time. So I prefer studying online. Okay, we're in E. What about working alone as distinct from working as a team?
Yes. I think working in a team is better because there are many people to work with and can solve the problem compared to working alone.
Very good.
So I prefer working in a team.
Oh, Wirani, you've done it really, really well. That's very, very good. Excellent. Excellent. Fantastic. Okay, Saratida. What do you want to do? City, countryside, online, offline, working alone? Which one?
The second one.
Okay.
Yeah, I think living in countryside is better because your life will be a lot easier. Like compared to living in city, everything will be in rush. So I prefer living in countryside.
Oh, sorry, Ted. You've done very, very well. That's really good. This really works. This is very, very good. Excellent. Good. Okay. Pew's in. Now, you choose one of those other ones. Working alone as a team.
I think working alone is better because it is more concentrate. Compared to the team, you can give in your own curations. So I prefer working by myself.
Okay, see, that's perfect, Pew. Yeah, it's really good, isn't it? Can you see that that by using these prompts, by having these set expressions that you can use in describing something, you become fluent. And so I didn't have trouble understanding any of it, but very, very good. All right, let's look at the last one. It's the problem solution structure. The problem solution structure. The problem is this happens because a good solution is, yeah? Wirani, read the example there.
The problem is I forget vocabulary. This happens because I don't practice regularly. The good solution is to review words every day.
Okay, so you're describing what the problem is, you're saying why it happens, and you're giving a solution, okay? These are all really good tests of what, like, for example, I talk about IELTS for fluency. If any of you want to do IELTS in the future, if you want to study abroad or something along those lines, to be able to speak fluently and hold a conversation or do a long turn for 1 minute, 2 minutes, the examiner is not worried about your grammar. He's in that case, he's worried about, or he's interested in, for the fluency part, is whether you can keep going. All right. Now, these are ways that you can learn to do that. All right. Okay. So let's look at the practice problems. Learning English problems, challenges at work, and time management. Think about that for a moment. Think about that and then plan an answer. Okay. Pew's in.
Yes.
Which one do you want to talk about?
I will talk about what challenges.
Okay, good. All right, off you go.
The problem is multiple tasks. It happened because I don't know which one should I have done it first. So the good solution is I should stay calm.
Good. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. See, that's all right. I think that's good. And it's one after the other. Bang, bang, bang. Yeah. There's no big R's in the middle. You're trying to think you're translating. No, you're using the structure to discuss something. Okay. Well done. Really good. We're on E. Which one?
Yes. I choose the problem with social media.
Okay. Good.
Yes. The problem is I have a short-term memory. This happens because I use a lot of TikTok. A good solution is to have social detox.
The social detox. Yes. Turn the phone off. Which one?
For me, I will choose time management.
Mm-hmm.
So the problem is that I sometimes cannot finish work on time.
Mm-hmm.
This happened because I've got so much work to do.
Mm-hmm.
So a good solution can be like, I really need to be focused and prioritize the task.
Well done, Sarashida. That's really good. You see, it's step 1, step 2, step 3. You're fluent.
Right.
It's fantastic. So there we are. Okay, guys. Thank you for coming today. I hope it was helped you. Yep.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.